what's happening is I backed behind the building, and then this guy came, and he just brought one skid. He has a trailer behind his van, believe it or not. You know, you don't often see vans like this pull trailers. And this is the air conditioning place in Montreal. Lots of snow. Not too cold, it's only -6 Celsius and 22 F. But snow is everywhere. But I missed it. I thought there would be snow, like the forecast said snow, but it was on the same day when I left, where was it? Sudbury? Somewhere in Northern Ontario, right? And all the snow passed, but you can see it's fresh snow. And I delivered these things. What was left? 10 pieces. And the funny story happened. See that sound? That's my passenger side window. Now I know. And the funny story happened. I was checking the the load board for loads from let's say 200-mile radius of Montreal to let's say 100-mile radius of Toronto, Ontario, or Cambridge, right? And there was nothing there. And so I'm checking the the load board, and there's 4 loads. I mean, so there was something there, but they were going all in the wrong direction. 4 loads, huge town, right? Montreal and Toronto, huge city. And this is inside Canada, where for once I can do what you call interstating, right? Because I'm Canadian. But, so out of those 4 loads, and I searched for a step deck flatbed, like partial, full, you know, I want to go home. I don't want to go back into US. So 2 loads were going to Oregon, US. Paying pretty good actually. One was going, I think, to California, where I cannot go anyway. And 1 load was going to Mississauga, Ontario. Perfect, except that it's 60 feet long and it weighs 85,000 pounds. You know. And the guy put the price as $1. So I guess he was waiting for storm of calls to come in. No, because in Canada, yeah, we are allowed, you know, heavy loads, but I cannot do 85,000 with a step deck, especially with a 3-axle step. For that you need 4 axles, or 4 on the truck and 3 on the trailer. You know, that's a really heavy load, and it's a 60-foot some kind of beam, so you need a flatbed. And then I talked to my friend in Alberta, who's subscribed to LoadLink, right? The Canadian version of DAT, or 360 load board. And I said, like, what's the story? Is there really no loads between these huge cities? And he says, let me check. And then he sends me 7 pages of loads. And he says, by the way, there's a couple of guys there, they are Landstar agents. So, like, what the heck? There's no loads on the Landstar board, but these Landstar agents post loads on the load link, on the Canadian load board. Okay, they're probably cheap, and all those loads, the problem with the load link is that you gotta call. It's a very expensive load board, right? It's like 600 bucks here, but that's where all Canadian, you know, shippers are. But the loads are cheap, but at least it's something, right? So there's like 69 loads. And it was already after hours, so I called this guy, the Landstar agent, and I said, you know, I'm trying to get back home to Cambridge, Ontario, basically, just west of Toronto. And you guys post stuff on LoadLink, but you don't post anything on the Landstar. Like, what the heck? And I sent him an email as well, and this morning he calls me back and he says, oh yeah, this is, I said, who is this, Pierre? Because that's what he said, Pierre and Maria. I thought, you know, like husband and wife. And I said, is this Pierre, like Peter? And he says, no, this is Mario. So it turns out there was two guys, you know, Pierre and Mario. I thought it was Peter and Mary, like what? Anyway, so he calls me, he says, oh yeah, I got 2 containers going to, basically to a suburb of Toronto. Okay, I said, he has, do you have hazmat? I said, yeah, I do have my hazmat certificate. I said, I'll do it. Well, you know, it was like $2.25 a mile, like gross, to Lansdale. These loads are very cheap here. Well, the same as in US. Inside US, you know, it's hard to find a good paying load, unless it's big, heavy, oversized, right? But I just want to get home, so I figured, I just did a quick calculation. If I go empty from here, this is 350 miles. If I go empty, slow, I'm thinking I'll do 8 miles per gallon, US, right? That's $250, because fuel here is like $5.50 a gallon. But if I'm loaded, I don't know how much that thing, but if it's containers, forget fuel mileage. If I get 6 miles per gallon, I'm lucky. But I mean, if I do 6 miles per gallon, that's $350 in fuel. So my fuel goes up, but now I'm making money. So basically, after all said and done, I figured after fuel, when I'm back home, I'll have extra $300 in my pocket, right? So you cannot beat that. So either I go empty, okay, no hassle, I'm at home tomorrow, but this one, because already today's Friday, so it's gonna be too late, you know, I need to load now, then I need to strap everything, right? Then I need to drive, so I'm not gonna be there today. Which means, and that town is near Toronto, like away from where I live. So basically, the stupid situation is that now I have to pass that town, go home, and then come back Monday. So which will add probably another, I don't know, maybe 40 miles or something. But no big deal. At least I should have, now I'm gonna check my computer, I should have his load confirmation, his email. But it's weird, you know. I'm Canadian, this is Canada, and these guys don't even bother putting loads on Landstar board. I think because they all think that all Landstar drivers are Canadian or American or something, I don't know. And of course American drivers cannot do this, right? Like I'm not allowed to do loads, let's say between Illinois and Indiana in US. American drivers here, they can bring the stuff across the border, but they cannot do this load that I'm gonna do now from Montreal to Toronto. That would be jail time, confiscation of the truck, $10,000 fine, you know, all those good things. Anyway, so now let's do get my bills of lading. I'm gonna scan everything, email to Landstar for this load, for the previous load. Then I'm gonna be paid Wednesday for this because my cutoff is Monday. And now I'm gonna print out his load confirmation. And off we go into the sunset, and then I'm gonna take 1 week off. I don't care. I'm taking 1 week off, and that's the beautiful thing of working for Landstar. I don't have to call anyone, hey please can I stay home? No, I don't want to work. Hey, we got a load for you. Forget it, you know. What do I have here? 14th, so I deliver on 17th. I stay home 1 week, and then I find a load to Kentucky, go with my truck, and then I see the Matt's Mid-America Trucking Show. So stay tuned, there are gonna be lots of pictures from that show. We're gonna do a nice slideshow with cool background music, you know, like European disco. That's what I grew up with, right? It should be 60 beats per minute. That's the perfect music for me. And we're gonna show some nice girls in there, because there's always those presenters, you know, opening doors, and it's gonna be a beautiful slideshow. So stay tuned and keep watching.